Have you ever bought something hoping it would make you look a little more expensive? Maybe a designer handbag or a trendy new skincare line that everyone's talking about, or just another outfit you really don't need. In the moment, we can feel a little more elevated and put together, but the uncomfortable truth is most things people buy trying to look more expensive don't really leave them looking more polished. It just drains their bank account. Because it isn't always the item itself, but the reason we buy the item. So today I'm going to be sharing with you the 8 things people waste their money on in an effort to look more expensive, and some easy ways to save some cash. Let's get into it. The first area where I feel like people waste their money is designer handbags. Now, a good quality leather, well-crafted handbag can be an investment. But the question to ask yourself is, are you buying craftsmanship? Or are you buying a company or a label? If the label disappeared, would you still pay that kind of money for the same bag? You can get beautiful leather, high quality handbags for a fraction of the price. So the area where it becomes a waste is if you're just buying the designer status for that handbag. I was recently scrolling through Revolve and looking at their handbags, and handbags were coming up for $15,000, $20,000, $25,000. My question to you guys, is there any handbag in its craftsmanship and quality that's worth $20,000? Leave it in the comments below. I'm curious to see what you guys think about this. Now, if you happen to like a handbag from a designer company where you're really purchasing it for the quality, then that's a different story because, again, it's the reason why you're buying it. The next area where I feel like we waste our money in an effort to look a certain way is daily coffee habits. A daily coffee shop habit can easily cost us thousands of dollars per year. Sometimes coffee can become a little bit of a status symbol. Where we get our coffee from, carrying it into work each day. Now, you may just buy it because you like coffee from a coffee shop better, and that's a different issue. There is no reason why you can't get a great machine, good coffee beans, and make it at home for a fraction of the price and still get the same effect. Get a good stainless steel coffee cup and walk into work with confidence, knowing that you are quietly saving cash. I just did a quick inquiry on ChatGPT about buying a latte from Starbucks 5 days a week, 52 weeks a year, the average cost, and it was showing around $1,500. A lot of us like a little extra in our coffee too, which brings up the price, so it could easily be way more than that as well. Save that $1,500, put it in the bank, and make your coffee at home. The next area is buying too many clothes. We think a lot of clothes is going to equal great style. No, a lot of clothes is going to equal an overwhelmed closet. Buying too much instead of buying a smaller amount that's better just ends up being a waste. Focus on quality, good fabrics, composition, maintain those fabrics well, and have fewer items. If you focus on less clothes that are better quality, you're going to look expensive because you do have better clothes. You just don't have a lot of them. We get caught in this mindset that to look expensive, we have to have this huge wardrobe. And I would disagree that just a really good quality, timeless wardrobe can make you look incredible. If you enjoy content about how to look good without wasting money, please consider subscribing below. It really helps me to know if this resonates with you guys. I would really appreciate it. The next area where I feel like we waste a lot of money trying to look a certain way is buying logos. Logos are such a big trap. It's sort of a status that I'm able to buy and afford this kind of clothing line. The question to ask yourself, would you buy this item without the logo? This is a little bit of a fine line here because it's kind of your motive for buying it that makes it a waste or not a waste. So if there's a company where it fits you amazing, the fabric is terrific and the reviews are really high, and you are purchasing it because of those reasons, and it happens to have a logo, that's a different story. And I have a company like that that has logos and they just fit me perfectly, so I do buy them for the fit. But if you're just buying for the logo, that's when it becomes waste. The next area that I think can become a big money waste is buying items full price. The secondhand market is booming and there is so much stuff on there right now. I feel like it is so rare that you should have to pay full price for any clothing item these days. But I feel like some people have an aversion to secondhand shopping, and if you're one of those people, or if you love secondhand shopping, let me know in the comments, what is it that you do or don't like about it? If you have an aversion to having someone else's clothes that maybe they wore, then most of the secondhand platforms have the option of filtering by new with tags. So just focus on those. You can still get that item for 30–40% off the original price. You're going to be able to get more quality for a much more affordable price by always looking at secondhand and looking at sales before buying full price. You are going to save so much money. I mentioned this in another video, but I recently came across an athletic brand that I absolutely love, but they are expensive. I got a good take on the fit and the feel and the fabric, and then I looked on the secondhand platforms. I found 2 of the items new with tags for 40–50% off original price. I saved almost $100 on those items simply because I went and looked at the secondhand platforms before I purchased full price. The next area of money waste is getting your nails done at the salon. Some people might argue with me on this point. Sometimes we can get in our minds this image of what we want to look like, kind of that it girl, right? She's got the blowout and the cute outfit and the designer handbag and the manicure. And we spend a lot of money on that manicure trying to look a certain way or look more expensive. I did, again, a little chat GPT search for just a general cost if you were maintaining acrylic nails over the course of a year. And it was like between $1,100 and $1,300. Again, if you add any kind of bling to those nails, it's gonna probably be more than that. I have nails that are very short and brittle and don't cooperate. So I decided to teach myself dip powder at home, builder gel nail at home, and it's become sort of a therapeutic routine for me. I put on a podcast or a YouTube video. I get similar results while paying a fraction of the price. Equally, if you don't want to be bothered with that, I feel like natural nails or your natural nails with like a nude nail polish or even a pop of red on your natural nails can look so classy and elevate your look. The next big area where we waste money is through skincare and the makeup industry. The skincare industry thrives on convincing us that the next product is the one. Next time you walk into Ulta or Sephora, pause and look at the entrance when you walk in. You are almost bombarded with new launches, sometimes even physical people trying to give you samples and try something on you. Grasping for the latest and the newest in skincare and makeup can become a tremendous money waste. Instead, focusing on good ingredients. Do a little research to make sure you know what those are. When you have those products, challenge yourself to finish the bottle before you try anything new. Because otherwise what happens is we get this product, right? We use half of it. Then we see something new or hear about some viral skincare and we want to try it. So we buy that and we try that. By the time we realize that that's not that much better, this one has expired and it's just become waste. So finish the bottle. Empty those things before you move on to something else. And also recognize that a lot of the great ingredients you can get at the drugstore. Some of my best moisturizers are drugstore moisturizers. CeraVe has some wonderful lines that I think perform incredible. You can save a ton of money by just buying quality skincare products and finishing the bottles. The next area that I think we can so easily waste money is through occasion wear. We get in our heads that we need the new dress for this event and we buy it, and usually occasion wear is very overpriced. And after we wear it, it sits in our closet. If we're lucky, we maybe will wear it one more time. Alternately, if you want something really fancy, maybe consider renting it or reselling it if you purchased it afterwards to recruit some of that money back. But I think a better approach is actually buying separates that go together for that event and then being able to use them again separately over and over again. A great example of this is like a pantsuit, if that's your style or your look. A great matching blazer and trousers with a really classy handbag and some jewelry can look fantastic at an event. But then afterwards, you could wear the blazer with jeans. You could wear the trousers with t-shirts. You're going to get a lot of cost per wear by buying separates for those occasions instead of buying one set formal outfit. If suits aren't your look, then obviously you can buy separates that look different, a blouse and a skirt, but just consider that because I think it's a tremendous money savings. I hope these 8 ways that we easily waste money trying to look expensive were helpful to you and some of the tips for how to save money instead. And I'm so glad you joined me today. Thank you for being a part of this video and this community here. And I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.